as Wendy's talking about this cell phone data and how complicated it is, and she keeps saying it's complicated. Have you been recently dealing with the 𝗪𝗧𝗏 stuff? It's not that complicated. They just download everything that's on your cell phone, and you can literally search and see everything that individual has done. I have plenty of cases. All the cases that we've gotten, especially recently, have involved 𝗪𝗏. And everything is downloaded. It's a software, and you can actually see exactly what time certain things were done. And no one questions it. This idea that it's too complicated is ridiculous. It's right there for everyone to see. It doesn't take a genius. Once the expert downloads it all, anyone in my office can go through the data and see what time the text went, what the content of the text was, what websites they were on. Everything is on there. So I want to make it very clear that 𝗪𝗏 is not as complicated as Wendy Murphy is making it out to be. It's quite the opposite. It's very easy. Any one of us can, once the data is downloaded, you can see it all. And it doesn't take a genius to figure out. That's number one.
Wendy, I've got you muted, just so you know, and Turtleboy muted, because I have to in order to keep the show on the rails. But it's funny watching you guys both scream at each other. Muted,
I'm not screaming. I'm just laughing to myself.
It's entertaining, though. Final thoughts, Wendy. Final thoughts.
I am going to say that there aren't enough stupid jurors in Norfolk County to acquit her. There just aren't enough of them. There might be a few. They're not stupid enough in that county. They're pretty educated there. Defense attorneys will put false information into the court of public opinion because they can. There are no sanctions on that side, which is why you get the imbalance of false stuff from the defense and virtual silence from the prosecution, except that they can respond in court documents, which they do. But then nobody goes and reads the goddamn court documents. The court documents in this case make clear why the Turtleman's claims are nonsensical. But you got to do some legwork. Get off your ass. Stop watching these stupid shows. Not yours, Joel. But go read the goddamn court documents so you don't sound stupid when you buy into this nonsense. The most important evidence in this case, I'm going to restate it because we can't afford to get distracted. A man is dead. Justice should be done. The way to do that is to find the truth, not distract the entire world with nonsense. The physical evidence is consistent with her hitting him with her taillight. Why? Because she hits him in the front. He's sitting on his ass because he's drunk when he gets out of her car, and he falls on his ass. She hits him in the head right here, which is where the first injury is. He goes backwards and slams his head, not on the grass, on the asphalt. That's where he got the big cut in the back of his head. That's where the fractures and the bleeding happened, which came forward like they always do and created the two black eyes. Typical injuries that you see from head trauma. Then a plow comes along and scoops his body down a bit, up onto the grass. But guess what the plow gave him? Scratch marks. The medical examiner said these marks have nothing to do with a damn dog. Stop blaming the poor dog who can't defend himself. This is from a plow. They called it blunt force trauma. Those are those scratches. And the most important thing is everyone will agree, if you just read the evidence, that taillight broke right then and there when she smashed him in the head. Her taillight wasn't broken before. And everyone agrees it was broken when she returned to the scene in the morning and found the dead body. And pieces of her taillight just happened to be found near the body. She can't explain that away. And again, I remind you, what else was found in her broken taillight, which, by the way, was also surrounded by damage to the paint? There was a bit of a dent to that area around the taillight. And guess what else was found embedded in her taillight? Human hair, not dog hair, not turtle hair, human hair. We're going to now assume that the police conspired, plucked hair out of the dead guy, went back to the scene and stuck it in the broken taillight? Use your friggin' head. Don't make such fun of the criminal justice system. This is embarrassing. You should be ashamed of yourself.
I'm so sorry. I'm so ashamed of myself.
You should be.